Coming up, John's report from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Maybe I should have said your experience at the Very Merry Christmas Party, John, rather than report. That seems very formal, but
No, that's okay. I think everybody knows I'm not giving any reports. So.
yeah. All right. Welcome to the SeeWDW Near and Far podcast, where we explore perspectives of the Walt Disney World Resort from 10 to 1,000 miles away. I am Mike the Far in this equation.
And I'm John the Near.
All right. So, John, I guess without talking too much about the Christmas party, how did your week in the parks go?
Well, I can use this time to talk about my trip to EPCOT, I believe last Sunday. Let's see what happened at EPCOT. All right. I got there.
Oh. Looks like looked like Epcot was trash that day. I'm just, just saying.
I've been trying to point out a little bit when I see this stuff. And, I saw one and I was like, and then I saw two and I said, I should take a picture of that. And then the third one came up and this is right down the row. I said, all right, I'm going to take a picture of it. So I did. This was the third one in a row going down. But again, it's fine. It's fine. No big deal. Yeah, this is, I went to EPCOT and the Festival of the Holidays had started. And this was last Sunday. And I was going to get a nice picture of, the festival sign up front, but I couldn't. And these guys weren't taking a picture. They were just there. They literally decided that a good place to sit is right in front of the Epcot International. And again, I'm there all the time, so I'm like, it's fine. I just walked away. But honestly, try to have a little bit of a sense of what's going around you when you're at these parks, because everybody takes this picture. It's Spaceship Earth with the new festival sign on. There's even a photo pass person taking pictures in front of it. And I'm like, photo pass person thing.
I'm surprised that isn't the person that was sitting there, It seems like employees are, standing or sitting in front of all the great picture sites.
So I, again, no big deal. I just had to mention that. I don't want to shame anybody about it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I'm sure they didn't realize it, but that's why I said, just be aware of where you're at. It happens to me a lot. And it's one of the reasons I won't be going back to Disney Springs this year for the Christmas tree trail. I would mainly want to get pictures of all the trees and see them. There's going to be people just sitting in front of all of them looking at me like, why is he taking pictures of me? And I'm like, I just don't care. It's like they used to have a trail, which made it easy and nice to see them all, snow, everything. Now they're just randomly around. So. All right. And yeah, this is something we wanted to talk about. One of the reasons I wanted to go to EPCOT, and I think this was one of my first days after being blocked out from Thanksgiving, was to ride Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind Holiday Remix. Mm-hmm. And so, that's the first thing I did when I got there. And these trash cans are properly emptied. So
that's amazing. So Epcot wasn't trash, or does that just mean that part of Epcot?
Just inside the parks, they emptied the trash that day. Yeah. But anyway, I got in here, and my issue is, I don't know if you can tell, look at all those people.
Mm-hmm.
It was so full. And, the last time I went on this, I was on the ride in about 28 minutes, I think. It's virtual queue, so it's usually not too bad. But Yeah, you can see it's thick with people. And here's the problem, too. I think they were having technical difficulties, and that's fine and all. But they also sold so many lightning lanes that I would just sit there and not move for 20 minutes at a time. And I would watch the lightning lane go by. And I know that's what they have to do. But just another reason for me to really, really resent lightning lane. I honestly would have walked away at some point, except
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see Holiday Remix. It's like I came here for this. I'm not going to walk away. And in the end, I don't know if I have it in here or not. It took just under 2 hours to get on the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to let you hear sound on here. Like, it's weird. We could do it in Skype, but not on this program. But maybe that's the paid version.
Yeah.
But anyway, I rode this thing, and the song that they used was "Run Run Rudolph," but it wasn't the classic song. It was a Disney made up song. Like, when my daughter heard it, she said, "Is it sounds like it's like the Kid Bop version or something." And then at the end, when I could hear it better, I heard "Run Run Rocket," and then Groot said something. So it was like a new song. And honestly, it did not work at all with the ride. Like, it did not. You know how every song on here just goes so good when you're riding, it just so awesome, like the song complements it. I feel like the song was not should not have even been there. It felt very out of place and just not good.
Hmm.
And there's nothing else special about it. There's nothing visually. There's nothing for the Christmas overlay. It's only the song change, and the song change did not make me think of Christmas, and it was not that good. So I just, if you have to, it's still a good ride, obviously, but I look forward to the regular songs coming back because and again, I think "Run Run Rudolph" is a pretty cool old song. Why they would make it a Kids Bop version, I don't know. It's like, just put that song in there. Whatever. I thought this was supposed to be whatever song. What is his name? Quinn or
Yeah,
Star
Quill
Lord?
Star Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Whatever song that he would have heard as a kid in the '80s is what would be in here. Not
Peter Quill is the name.
well, not a new Kids Bop version with "Run Run Rocket" and group singing. It's like, that's not. Again, it didn't seem fitting, and it wasn't that catchy, and it didn't go well with the song. Where every other song that I've heard in here was just perfect. Like, I loved them all. Like, I can't even say any of those normal songs. None of them are like my least favorite. They're all good. They work awesome. But this, I hate to say, I just did not care for it that much. And so I regretted spending 2 hours to ride it just to hear a song that wasn't that exciting. So,
Well, the other thing is too, it's called Cosmic Rewind, and they're playing a modern song in Cosmic Rewind. And I
yeah,
understand it's a Christmas overlay thing, but how hard would it have been for them to reach out to whoever holds the rights to the old Run Run Rudolph song or something like that? And here's the other thing: in the 80s, in that era that the previous songs are, how many Christmas songs were there? Remember Run DMC did a Christmas song? Remember they did that
that's the
charity album?
Christmas in Hollis or
Yeah,
something like
and
that. I love
Christmas
that
songs.
song. That was so good. And
I
that was in the
mean,
80s. I didn't even think of that.
U2 did a song on that album. I forget what that album was called, but it was pretty popular
Yeah.
and famous. It was and it was like about a charity thing. And here's the other thing, right here in this scene that you're showing right here on this where at the end, the Guardians are talking and, welcoming you as a Guardian of the Galaxy and stuff. Couldn't they have they just shot in that footage, like when that was all going on, they're filming Guardians 3. And they were also filming at the same time the Christmas special. So you mean they couldn't have like put
I
the
don't know.
Guardians in Christmas outfits or something like they were in the show or in that special. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me, some of the stuff that they did
They
for
probably
this.
cut that from the budget, so it would have cost a little extra.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, I would say for anybody who has any limited time and you really want to make sure you see the Guardians Cosmic Remix before the Christmas season is over, I have it up on YouTube and it's not impressive anyway. So I think it's on YouTube. Um, I wouldn't
it
bother.
is, it
I would
is
just
you did
yeah, and they didn't even copyright strike me because it's unrecognizable the
yeah.
song. So that's pretty unbelievable considering they copyright struck the "Living with the Land." So,
Yeah. So I'm going. I as we were talking before the podcast, and I'll just say that I'm going to come down there for a weekend and go do. We're going to do some of the Christmas stuff, and I would have rode that ride anyhow. But I got to tell you, looking at that line and the fact that I am going to have limited time, if that line even remotely looks as long as what you experience there,
yeah,
I will not hesitate to turn around and walk right back out. You know what I mean? Because I don't
yeah,
want to waste my time there. I'm going to have valuable time, and my time's valuable with only being there a weekend. I don't have time to be on a ride I've already ridden 50 times, and it's only that bad version of that song that they're playing on there. So,
yeah.
it's the
If it's just
difference.
like 30 minutes, like it is sometimes, that's okay. I would
I think
say
it's worth it for the
it's
ride
still
for
it's
that.
still a great ride, but I'm just disappointed with that version of it. Yeah,
Mm.
there's my timing.
I'm not going to wait 2 hours in that line. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, I got a Guardians of the Galaxy hat on, at the right. I mean, I know, you know, I'm a big fan of the ride, but I'm not going to wait for that long in that ride.
I definitely regretted it. And again, yeah, I just did it because I thought, footage wise, I just had to
Now,
do
see,
it.
I'd wait for some time to experience that right there. So,
Well, I know I've gotten this 100 times, but I just was hungry for a salad.
yeah, and
And
that's
so I got
yeah,
the General
looks
Tso's
good.
chicken salad again. And I like to sit. This part they keep roped off only for people with food. So I don't
Hmm.
know why. I like going back there. It makes you feel important. They undo the strap and let you go back with your food. It's like
Well, that's kind of new
only
because they didn't do it when I was down there the last time because there was Starbucks people and all kinds of people in there last time.
yeah, that's what they usually when I'm there, they're doing that. And it wasn't even that crowded and they still were restricting it to only guests to
And
that
and
that got something to eat. So
for the audio listeners, this is at Connections Cafe at
oh
Epcot.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, Connections Cafe. And again, I got the General So salad again. It seems to have found its equilibrium. It was super good, then it wasn't very good, then it was okay, and it's settling around. It's pretty good. It's not the greatest thing ever, but I enjoy it. It's nowhere near as good as it was the first day. The first time that I had it, it had spiciness to it. Um, More exotic vegetables in there. Like they kind of simplified it a bit. But again, I still do enjoy it, but it's not great and it's not bad. It's settled right in the middle. So
hmm.
obviously it's not that bad. I got it and I enjoyed it. So and yeah, I have an awful lot of pictures, so not all of them mean much. I don't typically try any of these special items they have, but
Mm.
this is available at Joffrey's.
And that is a cold brew of some type that they made.
Horchata cold brew.
Yeah, so that's a holiday exclusive.
Yeah, they seem to do that a lot. There are so many holiday exclusive things to
Mm.
eat, but I try not to do them. I feel like I gain weight way too easy, so I just can't do it. But the then I came out and the Jameters were playing, and they all had Christmas hats on. So again, during the Flower and Garden Festival, they come out with gardening equipment, and now for Christmas they have their hats on. They always do something, but again, they're
Mm.
always just great. Like I do love the Jameters, and People
I
get
do
into it. You can
too.
see people laughing right there
Yeah.
in the video. Like they just
They are so underrated.
yeah, the one
Honestly, they
guy
really are.
the one guy was telling him to stop dancing. He said, "You're
Uh,
supposed to be playing the drums," because he was out there getting into the dance, not even playing drums.
it was,
He's
people were
like,
laughing at him. He's playing right. I mean, he's so straight faced over that too. He's not even
yeah, the guy
laughing.
who's
Look
dancing.
at him.
You
It's
can see the
funny.
people cracking up in the
Look at
audience.
that.
It's
People were
great.
laughing behind him. He's like was shaking his hips around and
But yeah, the janitors, regardless of what time of year it is, they're always good to just they're very talented, and there's a lot of them. It isn't just these
yeah,
three guys. There's a bunch of them that they rotate around, but they're all great. They're funny. They're talented. They make
yeah,
everybody laugh, and it's just a good thing. And that's one of those little things at Epcot that I find to be
yeah.
nice. Although the robot guy, I haven't seen him again. The
It's
robot man. He was in uh, Magic Kingdom like a year ago,
yeah.
and then he was in
By the Guardians there,
by the
right?
Guardians for a while, and now he's
Yeah.
gone again.
They had to
He
get
must
rid of
have
him.
been he must have been cut, but he was really hilarious too. Whoever the guy or gal or whoever played that was really good at being a robot. Like they were on point. Like when I saw them, I was like, this is just great. So, but anyway, yeah, they probably cut him. They need money
Probably.
to redo Splash Mountain. It's very important.
Yeah.
They got to have priorities. So
Yeah.
they'll fire 10,000 people if they have to change it. Whatever they got.
Hmm.
Here's one of those Starbucks mugs that I don't understand why anybody wants.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
one doesn't really make a lot of that. That doesn't do anything for me
you
at
know how
all.
difficult these things are to clean with those
Yeah.
weird straws. I
Yeah,
know
I'm not
because my
crazy
wife
about
showed her get that kind of thing, and I'm there with
yeah.
the little straw thing cleaning it in the dishes. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
I
I
don't know
drink
about
it in a
that
normal
one.
cup. I can throw it in the dishwasher. It's
Yeah.
easy.
That one right there, that doesn't do much either. I like the one next to it, with the little Mickey heads and stuff that you showed me the one other time. And you see it right in,
Yeah,
so there's
yeah.
one there with little red Mickey heads, and I do like that one. But this one has Mickey Mouse just with a Christmas hat, and it just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, and I don't even know what Numos are, so
Yeah, I'm not sure what that
there's
is.
something or other.
What are they, like little Disney characters or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something that people will regret one day for having to pile on to do with.
Yeah.
So yeah, just some. Oh yeah, and remember I said what holidays are they talking about? Because I only see Christmas stuff. Well, here's Hanukkah. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah, they proved me
that's
wrong as
cool
well.
though. No, but that is cool that they, if you're gonna say holiday, at least represent other
Yeah,
holidays other than
yeah,
Christmas. So
that makes more sense then. It just
and the merchandise. I mean, it kind of looks like a half-hearted effort at Hanukkah because it didn't really look like much, but I mean, there's something there at least. I mean, they started, got in the door with it.
yeah, yeah, like I said, I always just hear about holiday, 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 and I'm like,
Yeah.
what holiday? Because I see Christmas trees, Christmas lights, Christmas presents, Christmas
Hmm.
parties, and I'm like, what holidays? But yeah, Hanukkah. So
Yeah.
I it helped me remember that. See, I remember my own voice saying stuff when I see stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
Hanukkah. I mean, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. But yeah, there's a bunch of nothing that really caught my eye all that much. I mean,
Yeah, this
this
merchandise.
the
This
Christmas
this
merch.
is this the creation shop here?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
what you're
this is
looking at?
great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I never noticed. Look how weird that Mickey looks.
Yeah, it's kind of
That
a
doesn't even look like him.
strange little mural behind the
Yeah,
cash
not a
register.
fan of that either. And there's Mickey doing a weird wink, standing weird. I didn't notice that either till right now. That's
Yeah.
odd. That's an odd stance Mickey's in there. And there's those weird people whose faces are covered. Looks like Kanye
Yeah,
West giving an interview in there. Never know. What kind of maniac.
In the same shop with like menorah stuff. I don't know.
I didn't even think of that. So here's some more
Moving
of the
on.
Festival of the Holidays. Um,
Yeah,
this area hasn't looked nice ever since they got rid of the Fountain of Nations, because
I agree.
it was meant to be in front of the fountain and be like the
Yeah.
starting point of a monumental view, and it just isn't now. Now it's just walls. So it's not what it used to be, but someday. And the Epcot Christmas tree is up finally, so
Hmm.
that was nice to see. Um, it's the same tree it always is, but it's definitely a nice one.
Yeah, I always like that tree.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty. Yeah, this one you can see it a little bit better. It's a pretty tree.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say one of your favorites was here then too. I Joyous was playing at the
Yeah.
stage right at the entrance. So I did stop to watch them for a little bit. And like I said before, they're one of your favorites. I really
Yeah.
didn't care for them that much, but I
Yeah.
can tell you I stopped, and at least one of the songs kind of connected with me and I really enjoyed. But a lot of them I just don't. I don't know why. I just don't. The
I mean, if you look at the crowd that's watching them, it's not a huge crowd.
Yeah.
So you may be among the majority in how you feel about that. But I just really appreciate. I don't know. I have a soft spot for gospel music sometimes. I mean,
It's, for me, it's too much yelling. You know how
yeah,
I'm
I
very
could get
averse
that.
to yelling. Like if somebody's yelling, it's one of those things that I say that I have like a touch of autism or something. I don't,
I
and
understand that.
with the blues, they do a lot of yelling. So to
Hmm.
me, I hear yelling and I get tensed up, and I'm like, oh, they're on stage, and it's part of the style of the music. And I just
Yeah,
again, but it's not all like that though. Like I said, I stopped, listened for a little bit, and I definitely enjoyed some of it. You can't hear the song
I
here, but
yeah.
they're
I mean,
definitely talented singers.
they
So.
are, and I used to be a member of an AME church, which is like an African Methodist Episcopalian church, and
Mhm.
so you had a lot of gospel music like that in that church, and so like I said, I just have a soft spot for some of that.
Yeah, I was
So,
a member of a boring Lutheran church where
so you didn't see
didn't do
too many.
anything fun.
There wasn't
Yeah,
too much of the
I
gospel
bl-
stuff,
I blame
gospel
them.
music
They
there.
got me used
Yeah.
to no yelling.
A lot of standing up and sitting down, right? But
Yeah, yeah, that's about it.
none of the shaking, clapping and shaking in the aisles type
I
thing,
do
right?
have to say though, and I got to find a way to put this in a reel. Pluto really liked this music.
Oh,
Look at
I
him.
love this. You
Look at
showed this to
Pluto.
me the other day. Look at that.
Yeah,
You even
he's
found the
clapping,
other
he's
one.
swinging,
Look at
he
that.
is loving it.
He is
And
into
yeah,
that, man.
and I was gonna say I recorded him
There's the
again
one. This is the
here.
one I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, look,
And look at him.
Pluto is
Man,
loving the music.
that's,
Look at him. He's getting
that's
into it. You
great.
can tell he's just waving with it and rolling with it. And
Oh, I love
again,
that.
so Pluto definitely liked it. So I saw Pluto going by, really getting into it too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's great. I love that though, that's cool. I mean, whoever that friend of Pluto is was doing a great job there.
well, he was waving over at him too. It's like he might be friends with them. They probably all in the same break room. Who knows? Maybe yeah. We don't know
Well, they probably had
how
all kinds of treats for Pluto and stuff, taken back there. Come on, John, it's magic.
Oh yeah, and there's their schedule if anybody wants to know. 1:15, 2:20, 3:25, and 4:30. So it's
Oh,
like they're
very
on four
cool.
times a day.
Very
Only in the
cool.
middle of the day, but it's you'll
Well,
definitely notice them if you're around the middle of the park there.
the great thing is it offers music around the candlelight processional. So if you didn't get into the candlelight and you can't really experience that, like you want to, there's another option anyhow.
And this was a view from I think behind the.
Man, that looks gorgeous. Look at
Yeah,
that.
I like that view of the
You've done
tree,
a
and
good man.
I you kind of have to walk around the back
Yeah.
area towards the lagoon, and you turn around, and it's a nicer picture. I know the angel is backwards, but I just liked it with the light and the lighting of it, and just the general framing of it looked cool from there. I even did
Yeah.
a video just, if I want to use it in a clip somewhere.
Yeah, it looks really
And
good.
then I noticed in one of the international gateway shops, they actually had they had countries with Christmas decorations up in each corner, and I don't remember those countries being up there before. Say they have a sled and lights, and just there's one in each corner, so there's four of them around the world. I thought that was something cool. Like this is England, I think. I saw a big clock. I'm not well traveled, so I can't tell you what these things are. But that's Italy. I can tell the
Yeah.
Leaning Tower.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that one. So this is an Italy one, but it's cool. It's like a 3D artwork in each corner of the Gateway gift shop. And like I said, maybe they do it every year, but I've never noticed it before. So
I've
I
never
thought
noticed that either.
that
That
was
almost looks
pretty
new.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So all right, so from there, the other thing I wanted to do, I went to EPCOT, and my goals were Guardians and Beacons of Magic. They have the Christmas show on that, or Christmas part to it, whatever you want to call it. And Living with the Land, Merry and Bright Nights. I wanted to do those three things. I did not anticipate Guardians would take me 2 hours, so it kind of let the steam out of my whole flow there. Because by the time I got out of there and ate, it was already almost getting dark. So normally I probably would have went around the World Showcase and got more pictures of what's going on at Epcot for Christmas. But yeah, I kind of ran out of time. But I did want to mention, and I think I have yeah, I can put. Oh man, that video is too large for playback. That's crazy.
Hmm.
Well, I can do the lesser version of it. I wanted to say, Living with the Land, Merry and Bright Nights had no wait at all, like literally
What?
none.
Really?
I waited 2 hours to ride Guardians, which is a great ride. But as far as Christmas overlays go, Merry and Bright Nights, it's even better than it was before. They added more lights, more effects, more, Christmas stuff to it. Um, the narrations changed to reflect Christmas and Festival of the Holidays. And again, I wish I could show you the whole picture, the whole video. I planned on just playing it, but the file's too large. What are you gonna? I don't know why that matters, but anyway, here's one of the newer parts that they added. They started to use
Oh,
projection.
yeah.
Like this room before would be kind of boring, just lit up with lights and stuff. But now they add the snowfall projections everywhere, and the I think I pan over to it, but there's a Mickey, a hidden Mickey on the hose to the right.
Mhm.
Yeah, there I go. They actually lit
Oh,
that
yeah.
up.
They lit it up this time.
Added a little present there. Usually that's just the hose there wrapped up, but
Yeah.
and I just have to say that I do a lot of critique of Disney, meaning I'm always telling you what they're doing wrong. This thing just looked great. It really did. Like there's definitely more lights than there have ever been there before. Much more lights, and more effects, and I loved it. But the sad thing is, it was emptier than I've ever seen it too. So I don't
Hmm.
know. People are lined up for test track to break down. I don't know.
Or Run Run Rudolph. They want to hear Run Run
Yeah,
Rudolph.
yeah. So anyway, Living with the Land was really good. Like, just I look forward to going back again. And it's hard to see in the video, but it's just it's merry and bright. It was really bright, just bright, and just very pleasant experience overall. And a little fun fact: I actually recorded it 3 times on this one trip. I had an iPhone 14 held horizontally, an
Mhm.
iPhone 13 held vertically, and I had a GoPro on the floor extended with a tripod just pointing out in general. So I've got 3 versions of this one trip through.
Yeah.
I probably won't ever use any of it or a lot of it, but what are you
You
going to do?
requested the front row, I'm assuming then.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I like to request the front row. Not every time. Sometimes because the front row is good and bad. It's good for filming because you can see everything, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to concentrate on one side and you see more items, less
Yeah.
water. Because is the water really exciting? Not really. So it's kind of nice to just not be in the front so you can concentrate on the things on either side too. But again, if anybody's interested, if you're watching this on YouTube, I do have the whole thing on YouTube. And
And
meaning
it's
just the merry and bright part. I didn't put the
yeah.
beginning part because there's nothing different about that.
And it's a full screen too. It's a full screen version and a very, very
Yeah.
good version of it.
Yeah, it's actually this exact file, but
Yeah.
it's a very nice, but Amazon won't let me play this back because the file's too big. If I would have known, I think I would have cut it in half or something and
Yeah.
done something else, but I didn't realize that it wouldn't let me do that. So I got off living with the land, merry and bright nights, and of course, I noticed I heard Christmas music playing from Spaceship Earth, and I did want to point out this is a great spot to watch the show from too. I really need to do that sometime. I always go up front to watch it because I feel like that's where it's showing you the most accurate projections. But I honestly don't think it really matters. And you could sit back here, enjoy it with a reflection of it and an occasional monorail going by too, all lit up. So, I mean, this is probably the better spot for it, honestly. And this is just walking out of the land, heading up front there. It's just a look across the water at one point. So I'm going to try this sometime. The next time I'm there, I might just watch it from back here because my wife won't care. She'll be with me the next time. She's not going to care. So, yeah, so I went up front. But the problem is, since it just had played, it goes through the standard Awakening Beacon of Magic show, and then it did the 5th or the 40th show, which the one that they've been playing. So the Christmas version was on the 3rd track. So I was standing around up there for a long time, waiting for it to waiting for the Christmas version to happen. So and eventually it did. It's like a Frozen song that they play, and it's not their best one. It's I feel like they didn't put a lot of work into it. It's not very exciting at all, and it's still worth watching. Like I love anything they do on with the Spaceship Earth lights. So, but I don't. I think this one is it. Maybe it's not. I don't think this is even the one. But the lights don't do a lot anyway. So, there was nothing really overly special about it. Yeah, I think that was it. But it's hard to tell because it feels like it's not doing much, which you can hear Olaf singing and the lights aren't doing a lot. So it's kind of sad. But again, it's still, they could have done nothing for it. And the 40th is still cool. The original Awakening Beacon of Magic that they played since it started, that's really good. So again, they're not all the best, but it's still one of my favorite parts of the EPCOT changes there. I wanted to say I got... Yeah, I did finally get my picture before I left.
No one was sitting there that time.
Leave by
The
the time I left.
Festival of the Holidays sign is actually,
Yeah.
nobody's in front of it. You got a great picture of it.
So in case you're wondering or thinking, where's a good place to sit at Epcot? Try not to sit directly in front of that. Maybe off to any of the sides is fine. There's a lot of room over there too. So, and as a little side note, this is not what I did in the parks, but my daughter was at Animal Kingdom, and she got me a few clips of that, which I haven't been for the holidays yet. There's one of the bears going by.
Yeah.
We've got Pluto waving at everybody. Spotted Kevin,
Yeah.
which is always fun. And for some reason, I posted this and it didn't do well on Instagram. And I'm thinking somebody said, "Oh, I love him. He's my favorite thing." I think Instagram might have got upset because Kevin was misgendered. It's a girl. So,
Yeah.
how Instagram is. They probably had to squash that post because normally he does a lot better. But these people just have to call it him. You know how important it is when you're gendering fictional character bird.
Yes, that's very critical. A
Now
fictional bird. Fictional
somebody
bird.
did chime in and say,
Yeah.
they were like, "You're killing me. It's a girl or something." I was like, "Yeah, here's a cool shot. See the tiger in there?
I do see the tiger.
He's
Very
gonna get a
cool.
steak thrown to him. Look,
Yeah.
got a steak and he's out. He's
Look
taking
at
his
that.
steak. Isn't
Tiger
that
is
cool?
running way up the hill away once he got his steak. Or she. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, now YouTube's not going to show this anymore. Thanks.
Yeah.
And this was really good. I need to figure out a way to put this on Instagram. This is a little baby ape, and you'll see another ape come out and play with it. This is the ape's brother, so this is his sibling that they're playing. So it makes it even funnier because if you think of like the relationship between like an older brother and a younger brother, watch this. Look, spinning around, spinning around. I did that with my daughter.
Oh, look at that.
That's something I would do.
Oh, man, they are playing too. He's literally playing. He's like spinning around with them.
I'm like, man, that's what I used to do when my daughter was
That is great, man.
And I'm like,
look at that.
That was so cool. And then here's another blip of them playing again. Look, he grabs the little guy's leg. Look.
Oh my goodness, and he's running there.
Look, he gently grabs his leg. He's like, nope, nope.
It's like they're playing tag almost. What it looks like. That is really cool.
Anyway, this is a reminder that when you're at Animal Kingdom, definitely stop and see the animals, especially in the middle of the day, because that is just the most adorable thing ever. Seeing the siblings play like that, man, that's just the best.
I'm telling you, Animal Encounter episode coming up.
Yeah, I need to post this, but I'm going to be really sad if it doesn't do good. But that was really good. Oh, and the other major news, at least for me, Hopper is back.
Oh, yeah,
the last
Hopper
few
works
times
again.
I've seen that show, I'm like, Hopper's not even there. So my daughter made sure to get a little clip to show me that Hopper is back up, So apparently Disney is fixing a little bit of stuff behind the scenes, just a little bit. So, and then she did a nighttime ride on Everest, which can't see too much at night. It's kind of dark out there. But anyway, I just wanted to share that stuff with you, that especially the tiger and the gorillas were really cool. Yeah, there's one of the light up snowmen.
Yeah,
Dinorama is has the lights around and stuff.
I'm glad you showed this because I was kind of debating back and forth when we come down whether we're gonna run over there at night to try and see the lights over. Well, I didn't know if Dino Land would be lit up or not.
It is. I was gonna say it's worth it at night because you're gonna find it to be empty at night. Unlike any of the other parks, Magic Kingdom at night you can't walk. So, and then they're doing the Tree of Life Awakenings or whatever it's called, the Christmas version of that. So and it's always nice. And they play it like every 15 minutes once it gets dark. So, and there's the tree out front. which is always that's always one of my favorites too. It's kind of like the Animal Kingdom Lodge one.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, wanted to just bring that up. And the only other thing I did this week is go to the Christmas party. So I guess we can start that too.
Yeah. Let's get into it. That's our discussion for the week. And so, John, what time did you get to Magic Kingdom to start the whole party thing?
Let me check. Looks like I arrived at 4:52 to the whatever you call that, the parking gate.
Yeah. So when for the party itself, though, what is the early entry for that? Like,
4 o'clock.
is it four? Okay, that's what I thought.
4 o'clock. And based on what I said before, it will be a little bit crowded at 4 because you have the overlap of incoming party and people still there. But it's still not bad because I was there last week during a party day, and I left around 4 as the people started coming in more. But the lines were very reasonable that day. So yeah, and nice time of day. You can't see it good because it's on the monorail, but nice sunset going down over the Grand Floridian.
Hmm.
And let's see this. I've got this same shot so many times. It just shows you that I'm always in a hurry. Look, I'm always the first one out.
Yes, you
And
are.
I have multiple ones where when I'm further up, I'm the first one down and straight into the park too. Like everybody's behind me.
I don't see any pictures, so I'm assuming that Magic Kingdom was not trash that night, right?
Yeah, not that I saw. I did
Okay.
not see. People were.
I do
People
see some trash cans in some of your pictures, but I don't see any trash hanging out of them, so that's a good thing.
Yep. So the next thing we're doing, let's see. I got there and 5:21. So it didn't take too long to get over to the park. So maybe about 30 minutes or so. And so they take you in the back. You go off to the right, kind of like they do with the Halloween party. And then they give you a free Christmas ornament, which is
Wow.
actually metal and actually nice. So
That looks really cool.
I know for Halloween, we didn't get that. We just got it.
candy.
Yeah, and we got a piece of cardboard but it had like a picture on it. And we got that again too, to be fair. Oh, it's somewhere else, but they did give you another commemorative poster board for the end of the night too. But this I was impressed with. It's you can hang that right on your Christmas tree. It's very nice. It's a very nice thing.
That is cool.
And it only costs what $160, so it's worth it. Kinda.
That remains to be seen. We're not at the end of this experience thing yet. So.
Well, I was gonna say too, when you first get there, they have places to take pictures and stuff. The lines are so long. It's like everybody gets in that line, and my goodness, don't go to that one. Wait a while.
Wait until later on in the night.
Yeah, it gets much less crowded later. And of course, I mentioned when we got there, I said, once again, we didn't eat anything. And once the party starts, the food locations seem to go away. I think last year my wife gave up and got a hot dog from Casey's eventually, and she doesn't even really like hot dogs, just because she was starving and there was nowhere she normally ate was open. So we decided we're going to go to Cosmic Rays and just split a burger, because we didn't want to be overly full because we had a long night ahead of us. And the last thing that I want is to be tired from eating a really big meal and then saying, now we got 5 or 6 hours of rides and walking to do. So we got that. And I have to say, we got it. My wife's picky, so she got it with mostly nothing on it. But I said, leave the bacon because I'll eat it, So I cut it in half. this bacon was so crispy, and there was a lot of it. And what I did, I didn't even know it. If you ask them, they don't, they don't have the fixins bar anymore with the pickles and this and that,
Right.
but they'll give it to you up there. So they took the pickles and put it in the thing. They took the lettuce and put it in the thing. And anyway, I had bacon, I added pickles, and I took one of the barbecue sauces and put it on. I had a barbecue bacon burger that was so good. I was like, or
Huh.
half of one at least. It was very tasty, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, man, that was a great half a burger.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. You can see the pickles off to the side there.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know they didn't do the fixins bar anymore. They did
yeah,
that for the longest time, even during the virus thing. And
well, yeah, that is weird. Maybe
yeah,
it's too expensive because I know if you're a cast member that doesn't make enough to live, you might go in there and just get a bunch of pickles and lettuce and make yourself a pickle lettuce salad, which also sounds great to me. Honestly, I would eat.
yeah,
I love pickles and lettuce is great. I could really see putting it in a bowl and being like, hey, I got a good snack for free. I'll take it. So who knows why, but it's not there anymore, but they will give it to you. So this is the view from Cosmic Rays. As the sun was going down, got in a quick meal. There's me holding my phone. But yeah, I don't eat inside there a lot, and
yeah.
usually I watch Sunny Eclipse. But I decided to sit up where it's a nicer view since Sunny Eclipse doesn't play during the parties because they do things on the stage during the parties. So.
Well, I was going to ask that. So they did have they took Sunny Eclipse down for the Christmas party, so they were doing a stage show back there then
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Christmas.
I don't know which stage show. I didn't go back to see it, but
Oh, okay. Okay.
it's something though.
It's probably like, something teenage related. That's what they usually do back there, like a Disney or Disney Plus show that teenagers really dig, something like that.
And I'll mention too that they have a lot of specialty foods and beverages for these things too. And I'm mentioning it now because I didn't get any of them. They have Once Upon a Christmas tart, holiday dinner dog, sugar plum shake, Christmas tree cake, Christmas wreath donut. It's like I'm sure they're all fine, but since I live around here, I could get actual good desserts somewhere else if I want to. I can go to Publix and get a good dessert, which would be a fraction of the price. So. And just to give you an idea, like the hot dog, all beef hot dog with cranberry mustard, savory stuffing funnel cake,
Hmm.
and cheese curds. It's like that's just too much weird sweet sugar stuff thrown onto a hot dog. It's like I like my stuff separate. But anyway, I'm not a big fan of Disney's expensive novelty cupcakes and such. So I didn't get any.
Uh,
I did not meet any characters.
mm.
And again, just like the Halloween party, I don't know how you go about meeting characters, going to all the stops, seeing the
I don't know.
parade, watching the fireworks, going on rides. I'm like, I don't really have time to do all that. So I'm just going to go through what I did.
Did you
And
see any special characters though that were doing meet and
I saw
greets that might have
lines,
been
but I
different?
didn't actually see them with my own eyes. I saw big lines, and my wife said, "Oh, that's probably characters." So
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't think you can do characters, rides, parades, fire. I don't think you can do it all. You have to pick and choose what you're going to do. And I know we couldn't. We wanted to see. I wanted to see characters. My wife not so much. So we saw one character, and then we went on from there, and that's all that we could do. So
And here's the teacups, which is one of the themed rides, but
mm,
they don't really do a lot with these. They just change the lighting and songs a little bit. I feel like that's just an easy one for them to list as their attraction that's not,
yeah,
that's updated. Here's some of the times you can see. Astro Orbiter, 10 minutes.
it's
Space Mountain is a little bit high at this point, but this is 5:50 at night. So technically the party doesn't start till 7. So these aren't really party times per se.
That's not bad though. I mean, those are pretty good times for this time of year, even though it
Yeah,
is a party night. So that might be a good tip, like an hour before the party. Right there you go. I mean, you don't have
it's
to
not
leave
bad.
yet. Go sneak some rides in before you have to, before they put their two fingers together and point you towards the exit.
Well, I think they throw you out starting at like 5 maybe.
Oh,
And
really?
then there's an hour of them just making everyone show their wristbands. And then I think the party officially starts at 7, I think.
Uh, okay.
So I'm not 100% sure. But there you can see sun setting in Tomorrowland. And what I decided to do was ride the Tomorrowland Transit Authority. And I know you think it's overrated, but I still had to ride it.
Mm.
But I
It's because you're
I
a
just
social media star.
well, yeah, I have to. Otherwise, they'd throw me out of the club.
That's right.
But anyway, look at Space Mountain. Look how pretty that is. It's
Yeah,
got light. It's almost like a light show goes on
it
Space
is
Mountain,
cool.
different lighting patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just so beautiful at sunset with everything lighting up. Like I never get sick of that view. Like look at the hub there for Astro Orbiter. Like it's just an amazing shot going around it. But anyway, the main reason that I did this was I really wanted to go on Space Mountain because they have the
The lights
space.
turned on, right?
Yeah, the lights aren't necessarily turned on. It's more strobing, but they don't really have a name for it. They just say holiday themed Space Mountain. So,
Uh,
but anyway, yeah, that's a really. I don't know how long. I did keep it on for this too. I was gonna say I don't remember how long I even recorded this thing for. I should throw this up on YouTube too. That video was very pretty, and it probably wouldn't get copyright striked. But look out for Tron testing. I'm pretty sure it does, unless it's the next time. Maybe it doesn't. But one of these times it did. No, I don't see it. Oh,
yeah.
there
No,
it
there
is.
it is.
That's
Yeah.
right. So, yeah,
There,
see
the
how beautiful
train.
Tron
Yeah.
it looks around there. The lights are all lit. The you can see the train tunnels lit up there. It only
Yeah.
flashed by a second, but yeah, they're really coming along with the Tron stuff. Like it's looking like it could open. So maybe they will open it earlier with the
In
since they're
January,
going to
maybe.
close Splash Mountain. Yeah, but they always close Splash in January for a
They
refurb.
do, and I think that's why they're doing it the way they're
Yeah, that's
doing it. To
probably
be
why they
honest with you.
decided that's the date. But yeah, I'm ready for the Band-Aid to be pulled because I'm just so I feel like I've been traumatized by it 20 different times now. And it's still open,
Yeah. Just time to move on at this point, I
And
guess.
there you can see some
Yeah, that's cool. And
lights
Space
on Space
Mountain, or
Mountain.
like red and green lights flashing on Space Mountain. I don't remember them doing that before. They
Yeah,
might have,
yeah.
but
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's a good scene of it right there. That
yeah.
would be really pretty from
Wow, look at that.
I know I need to post that on Instagram. That's really nice. Yeah, I don't even have these things marked. So much of my content is definitely postable, and I don't even. I see it when I'm talking about it on this podcast or YouTube show, whatever you want to call it, and I'm like, man, why didn't I post that? That looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's like basically what we're looking at is on Space Mountain. It's, it starts out as green and red kind of lights going across it on the fins of the outside of Space Mountain, but then it changes to something a little different. It's like what would you say, like bluish and purple, kind of like the whole Space Mountain. And they have like kind of snowflakes and stuff projecting onto the facade.
snowflakes, and
Yeah, it's really neat.
I
It's
just
really
found
cool.
it on my phone,
Yeah.
and I need to. That's going to be posting very soon. I just like the look of that. There's something about it that catches my eye. And there you can see a picture of it too, which might be a little easier to see. But anyway, I feel like Tomorrowland is one of the best themed parts for the Christmas party. I really do.
Yeah.
And I don't know why exactly. Like here's the hub and stuff. There's a few lights around and stuff, but Tomorrowland has entire buildings that are color schemed and flashing, and it's like I feel like Tomorrowland looks is one of the best places to be for the Christmas party. So that's something I would recommend. There you can see Space Mountain again doing different things with the colors, and it's just amazing the things that it does. And just think, soon enough, Tron's going to be able to be part of that too, because it's all about lights on that too. So very cool. I really think Tomorrowland's got to be my favorite spot, especially now, once they get rid of Splash Mountain, which isn't good because that means Bob Iger's going to be saying, you know what we should get rid of? Tomorrowland,
Yeah, that's right.
Because so far, everything that I like is on the chopping block for years now. It's just bad luck for me, I guess, but it happens a lot. But anyway, the reason I did the Tomorrowland Transit Authority visit, and I know I got lost on it, I just started looking at the pictures, but was because I wanted to ride Space Mountain Holiday themed, which has flashing lights and you can see the tracks and this and that. It's so cool. And I really wanted to ride it. But when I went on the TTA, I did not see any flashing lights in there. So I went and I asked the cast member, and they said, we don't start the holiday themed version till 7:00 because there's still some people in there that didn't pay for it, because you don't want those guests. If you didn't pay for the Christmas party, you better not get anything out of it. So they wouldn't turn that on. So. And I'm joking, but I don't think they're joking. They don't want you on.
They're not joking at all.
So don't try to get in there unless you paid to see it. But then my wife wanted to go on the Jingle Cruise, and it was a 65-minute wait. And, we got in line. I said, I'm all right. Well, it's probably not really that long. Well, the cast members said it is really that long. And we turned around and left because I just rode the Jungle Cruise a couple weeks ago, and I told her I didn't laugh once. So, the Jingle Cruise, it's cute and all, but I really don't think it's worth spending 20% of your entire party night standing in that line to see it. And you had mentioned before the podcast, it's open when the party's not on. It's simply the Jingle Cruise for the Christmas season. So we don't need to waste 20%. So we made the right decision. We didn't waste 20% of our party doing something that is not exclusive to the party.
Right. And that's it. I always am very careful to avoid that, whether it's that or whether it's extra evening hours, because they shut that down actually for extra evening hours, come to think of it. But you don't want it stuck in that line before your extra evening hours begins and then have that bleed over into your event. So, that's a smart decision, John. I think you made the right choice there.
Another thing I wanted to mention was, unlike the Halloween party, I was there for the Halloween party, and I left the Halloween party thinking this was not worth it at all. The crowds were so extreme. All the rides, for the most part, during the Halloween party, they felt just like they did on normal crowded nights, like when I didn't ride anything because I didn't have Lightning Lane. In this case, you can see here, 5-minute wait time for Pirates, and honestly, it was a no-minute wait. I simply walked in, and you wouldn't see anybody in my video footage here except for there was a couple people who wandered in ahead of me, but it literally, I probably waited about a minute or two for the whole thing. And I
Now,
won't.
in fairness, as far as the Halloween thing goes for that ride, they do have an overlay, and I don't think they do for the Christmas party, do
Well,
they?
but I'm saying it's not just this ride. It
Right.
seems to be all of them. The wait is just so much less. Because then the next one that we did, we went over to Big Thunder.
Oh,
And again, I probably waited a minute, 2 minutes if I'm lucky. Like
wow.
it was just not really any wait at all. And so that was really nice. And then we could have done Splash, but my wife was like, maybe I don't know if I want to get wet or whatever. So I said, well, we'll think about it. But anyway, we went to the Haunted Mansion next, and that was probably about a 5 minute wait too. And they actually light up the outside for the party. They add a
Oh.
little green, and I think sometimes it turns red, but mostly green lights.
Hmm.
And besides that, it's just the Haunted Mansion. But again, no wait to go on the Haunted Mansion. That's not a bad thing. So we did that. I did see these characters. I don't know why two characters are getting pictures taken by themselves with no guests, but I don't know what the heck was going on.
That's probably somebody probably asked for that. You know what I mean? Like they probably wanted that.
Well,
It's not. You don't see the
the cast
prince.
members probably said, "I want my own picture,"
They probably
because
did.
that's the
The
kind of thing.
prince. It's very rare to see Snow White and her prince. Like together anywhere.
Yeah, I haven't seen any princes around in a while. I thought they got rid of them all, but anyway, here is the uh, whatever you call it, Tomorrowland
Tomorrowland
Speedway.
Speedway.
I did get a little bit of footage where you can see a little bit that's going on there.
Nice.
Let's see if we can see any more. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure they don't turn any of these on unless you're at the party. There's some back here too, and I did not ride this,
Hmm.
but I only blame myself because I could have ridden it. But with the thick fumes of choking you and stuff, it's just not my favorite thing. I tend to not ride it very often, and even at Christmas, my wife basically said we need to drive 40 minutes home after this. You really want to drive around in a toy car right now? It's like, I was like, yeah, I guess not. I was going to do it for footage, but I'm like, I'm going to Space Mountain, and that is where I went next. And as you can see, it's glowing. The lights spinning around the top.
Nice.
I don't know if I got the weight or not, but it said 30 minutes at this point, and this is at 7:30. So the party just started 30 minutes ago. So the bulk of the people who want to see the holiday theme are already here, because I know 30 is not a bad time, but it actually ended up being about a 20-minute wait. And it just was not that crowded in there. And so, I did this in like 2019, I guess.
Hmm.
I have some videos of it and stuff. It was pretty good. But I have to say that I don't know why. I know I have the whole thing in here in widescreen, but I don't see it coming up. Well, anyway, we'll look at that later. Yeah, sorry. This is the problem with the. I do have it, but it comes up later. We'll just let it go for now. Basically, you can see here. This is from the TTA. You can see going under it. See how it's all lit up
Oh
there.
wow, yeah.
And
That's pretty cool.
later on, I ride this again, so I will show better footage of it then. But yeah, you can see a little bit of the flashing going on in there. And I do have, I do have video of it, but it's basically, I've got widescreen video that I took the second time that I did it. So I'll show you a little glimpse of it. See how cool that looks?
Yeah.
And I have to say, I went on this for the Halloween party, and at the Halloween party, it was just pitch black, which meant every time it turned, you weren't ready for it. So it's like, oh. So I absolutely hated it. I like to be able to see the track a little bit. And I know it's hard to see in this video, but you can see the track flashing in this thing a lot.
Huh.
And let's see if we can get to a better part. There are some parts. I posted one on my Instagram where you can see it really lit up well. And again, you can definitely, it's not like riding it with the lights on, but there are parts where you can really see it well. And it's kind of scary. You'll see a flash and you'll see all of the, yeah, there's a good
Yeah.
one.
Huh.
You can see, all the track and stuff in front of you, and it looks like you're going right at it, and it's like, oh, it just flashes like, oh, you're about to get your head chopped off. Obviously that's not going to happen, but just really cool. And I'll show it again. I do ride it later. It took me 28 minutes and 58 seconds to ride it. So
Oh, so it's pretty accurate that time.
yeah,
I mean, it's close.
So from there, here's the stage show going on that we walked by in Tomorrowland. And again, this looked fun. It was Mike Wazowski's out there dancing. It's very bright colored, all that. But as you know, my list of things to pass on is very, very long. So this for me, I took a 10-second video and said pass and kept talking.
My wife isn't a big fan of shows like that either. I mean, I can take them or leave them. Yeah, I'm
So,
the guy that doesn't like the parades, so
well, in this case, the parade's pretty good. But I was going to say, after we did that, then we did the Tomorrowland Transit Authority again. And that's where this is the TTA view going through to see, everything lit up. Like, you can see the crazy flashes and this and that. So that's what it looks like from the TTA. So even if you don't like Space Mountain, if you're at the party, go on the TTA and you can get a good view of inside there. Oh, and here for contrast, see how the colors changed on Space Mountain? Now it's blue with white things going down and stuff. So it changes constantly, the projections on there. So again, big thumbs up to Disney for that. I think that's a really nice feature to have. So, and we went on Buzz Lightyear with probably like a 2-minute wait. Again, it's not my favorite ride, but if I can walk right on, it's fun to do. From there, we were walking down because the parade was going to start. Oh, and if you really like spending money, they have dessert parties. See in there?
Oh, yay.
You can get a dessert party where you can get even more sugar cakes and cookies and food coloring. I've been to these when I went as a stand-in for a media company, and I was so sick the next day. I felt like I got poisoned. So it's not my thing, but some people like them. So anyway, we were going down to look for a spot to watch the parade on Main Street because that's where the snow happens, and I like the snow. And this was it was already 8:33. The parade starts at 8:30, but it starts way up in Frontierland by Splash Mountain. So we had a lot of time, so we went into Starbucks, who also offers
I see an ornament there of some type, right?
No, that's a cake.
Oh, it's a treat.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably the red that is illegal in every other country but ours because it's kind of poisoning. And yeah, there's a couple new mugs in there. That's a pretty cool one. I think of that.
Yeah, I like that.
Arrived. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, the Small World face. Everybody, my wife loves popcorn at the parks. So for her, Magic Kingdom, we look at the Astro Orbiter. We don't really ride a lot of this stuff, but it does get the visual of Magic Kingdom. It connects well with it. So yeah, so we were there. I got a new gimbal, so I got that ready, and let's see, by the time the parade actually started, it was probably about 8:44. I'm not real good at standing around, so my wife stayed in one place and she went live and posted the whole thing on our Instagram, the whole parade.
Hmm.
And I'm grateful for that. But also, a little tax tip for everybody: since I get paid bonuses, which are reported to the IRS, my wife and my pass are tax deductible because she works too to get content for the site. So, bam, tax deductible.
There you go.
It's a good thing. So, anyway, and she went live for a few things that night, probably 3 different times. But you can see on Main Street just the decorations and the tree. You can see it's starting to snow there a bit, and I still feel like it was a better parade in 2019, but it was still pretty good. Like they don't have the band for the toy soldiers anymore. You know how they had the drums and the horns?
Yeah.
They were really playing that stuff too. Like it was amazing. They never brought that back yet. So for me, I noticed that. So that kind of bothers me. But besides that, the parade was almost as good as it used to be. And as you can tell here, I'm just walking up. It's not crowded, but this was not like this during Halloween. People weren't even respecting the lines at Halloween, meaning you couldn't just go find a spot to watch it. There was no spot. And, you had to find somewhere weird and wait it out and stuff. So
all the cast members with smiles on their face since since the devil their boss got fired. So.
Yeah, I think they're in for a surprise. But I'm happy they're happy though.
Yeah.
I like to see them happy. But now they're asking for more money. So
Yeah.
the key for Disney is they need to pay their cast members a lot more, charge the guests a lot less, and make that math work out. But I don't think they're going to do it. Somebody's paying. I don't know who, but yeah, look how clear that is. Just
it does. It looks now. It's either the fact that they've done a good job creating a false wall with that tape, and like guests are respecting that to some degree, or just the fact that it is not really as crowded as it was. And honestly, looking at all your video, it doesn't even look remotely as bad as Halloween.
I am betting that is the case, because you know what you normally hear at times like this too. Normally, I'm like, oh, look, it's Winnie the Pooh marching and the parade's going on. There's usually cast members yelling, you can't stop here, please move on. You cannot stop here. You must keep walking. You cannot stop here. Be fun. And it kind of ruins the whole show because you hear just yelling the whole time. And again, here's some people not standing in the tape, but they're not being a problem about it. And no one's yelling at them about it. There's not that many of them. They're respecting it for the most part, So I feel like it went really well. Yeah, there's Mickey and Minnie, some snow on Main Street. Like, this was really nice. And you're going to see from my videos, I can't stand standing for too long. So I literally was walking up and down those cleared spaces and recording with my gimbal over top, just getting some shots here and there. It's not good for complete coverage or I got the whole parade or anything, but I got pictures, I got video, I got clips. It's not perfect, but I like it. Yeah, that's a handicapped area there too that they rope off. So, and again, the cast members are happy. They're smiling. They're waving at people. They really did seem a little happier, but I think it's because there's less crowd to manage, honestly. Because again, with the lines and everything was night and day difference between the Halloween party was miserably crowded, like just awful. And I'm thinking they might have got some feedback related to that, because I always say I'm not that special. If I got that experience, I'm sure a lot of other people did. And it made me not even want to do this Christmas party. My thought was this is going to be a waste of money. I'm going to regret it. It feels like work that I'm even doing this. Like I should be excited to go to the Christmas party, not thinking, man, I got to go to the Christmas party. But based on Halloween, I did feel that way. But again, you can see that the crowds are not that bad on either side of the street. You can
Yeah,
see
it's
that's the end
really
of
not.
it. So you can definitely find a spot. Like you could find a place to watch this. And I stopped several times. My wife was near the confectionery, and I stopped by her several times too, and just it, um, there was a spot by her. I could stand there and watch it if I wanted to, like see all the places. I honestly thought it was just amazing. The parade itself is a little bit. There's no band toy soldiers, but there is Green Army men in it now, which I thought that was a cool addition. They have a Jeep and they go down and they're doing salute, and I'm like, I didn't get a great video of that, but I did see it, and I thought to myself, I don't remember that from past years. That's a cool addition. Everybody loves the Army men, but I like being down by the tree too. I know the castle, but I feel like Main Street, where it's snowing the most and the tree and stuff, is the most festive part. So you can see Elsa going by.
Yeah.
There's
Elsa's letting it go.
Yeah, there's a shot just down Main Street. There's a window display at the confectionery. Just trying to think of good pictures. I thought it'd be cool to see the confectionery, then look over and say, "Hey, it's snowing, and there's the tree." And I thought that was a cool transition. That's me walking right through the confectionery. That's me hoping nobody yells at me because I'm not actually ever stopping. I'm just wandering around, and you're not really supposed to do that. But since I'm not stopping, maybe I'm just confused, right? I keep walking up and down, up and down.
There's Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is there.
Wreck-It Ralph in the parade. Vanellope was in front of him.
Oh yeah. It's a little harder to see because I didn't, it'll be harder to see Vanellope if you don't have a good spot. But my gimbal, it has an extender too, and I did pull that up at one point and use that too with nobody behind me. I made sure I didn't put it in front of anybody, but technically that's not allowed. But my thought was Disney doesn't really push that much if you're not doing it in an abusive way. If you're not on a ride trying to use it or doing obnoxious selfies or whatever, if you try to be out of the way and just use it to be able to see better, because that's how I got some of these good shots. My gimbal, like, am I in the front here? No, I'm not. I'm all the way in the back. My gimbal went up high enough that it looks like I have a good view, but I'm looking up at this point. But I won't go too much into this. I feel like Christmas parades and stuff. When I didn't live here, this would have been one of my least interesting episodes because I'm like, I don't really go there for Christmas. I only went once. It's not really my thing, but. So I won't get too much further into this, but I did get the toy soldiers. Of course, with all my wandering around, I had some slow people in front of me who were walking and watching the parade. So the toy soldiers got away from me. So I had to chase them all the way to the front of the park to get them. So that's my own fault. But anyway, I like that though. You can see I like to walk with the soldiers, and you get they're doing their thing. But yeah, it's still my favorite part.
Yeah, they're like so iconic for this parade. Like this is the point. This is the thing for this parade.
Oh yeah,
I miss the band. It stinks that the band isn't playing with them, but still, it almost looks like there's more of them marching now without the band, though.
Yeah, I've got some 2019 videos, and there was a lot of people there. So
Okay.
There you can see Santa,
Yeah.
which I know I have a video of Santa too. Oh, there it is. I don't know how that got past me, but there's Santa and snow and Main Street.
Huh.
Oh, I think I mistakenly had it on times two. That's why it looks so close. I'm sure I fixed it, but everything's a little closer than I meant it to be. But anyway, we watched the parade. There were some country singers in Frontierland um, singing country music Christmas stuff. I thought it was a recording, and then all of a sudden they were standing in the middle. I was like, oh, I thought that was just a recording. So that was a surprise. The reason we didn't do too much after that because I think the fireworks were at, when were they? I think they were at like 10:30. I don't even remember. Maybe I did do something. Anyway, this is the stage show, which I remember this from last year. It's basically a bunch of Christmas songs that they're all dancing. And again, it's not my thing, but it is well done. The castle's pretty. The songs, some of the songs are catchy. Some of them, I don't really care about it at all. But it's really just not my thing. But if, people seem to like it. So I did. Oh, you know what I noticed too? I think my wife made a point. She just kept moving up and up and up until we got closer and closer. And she basically, it was spread out enough in the crowd that you could go wherever you needed to go. The fireworks were at 10 and it was 9:44 and they were playing this and we kept scooching up further and further. And we got to the point where we were as close as I wanted to be for the fireworks. So I was like, yeah, this is good enough. And so we decided to stay there. It was only 10 minutes between the fireworks and the stage show. So we were right in front of the castle in the hub area in a perfect place at the end of that. And I think that's the end of the stage show. Yeah, I think so. So 10 o'clock.
So, yeah.
And anyway, I got to see whatever it's called, Minnie's fireworks thing. I have it right in front of me, but I don't feel like even finding it. The Christmas fireworks at the Magic Kingdom. And they're always very good. It's definitely good fireworks. And it starts out with Tinkerbell, I think. But I might be wrong.
I know at one point, didn't they, when they used to have the lights on the castle, didn't they start out with something to do with Frozen or something like that?
When they did the
Dream lights.
they would do Elsa would light the castle by
That's
freezing
right.
it into icicles or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they don't do that anymore. That made for a really pretty picture and video. So. But anyway, the fireworks are here. The full video of the fireworks from this location is on my Instagram. I have a series on there, a series of videos that I have marked as lives. So you can always go to the lives and see the parade and this. And, I only go live like once a week or so. So there won't be a lot. Even if you listen to this a year later, you can scroll down and find it pretty easy on there.
So, in comparison to, say, the Halloween fireworks, what do you think of these fireworks?
Well, the fireworks, I think, are on par, meaning they're both good fireworks shows.
Hmm.
But I couldn't even get near this hub. I went to walk towards this hub like 20 minutes before the Halloween fireworks, and there wasn't even a walkway to walk near it. It was just solid people. And, it was one of those things that I did eventually find a place, but I was very disappointed that it was very difficult to find a place.
For the Halloween
Halloween.
fireworks.
For
Yeah.
this, it was easy. There's plenty of room. We walked right up and waited literally just a few minutes between the two shows. So it was just easy. Yeah, you can get some good pictures too. Like a lot of these pictures are really nice. Although I don't know why this guy was in front of me. If it's you,
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah.
to look behind you.
Well,
Let
at
me
least you didn't use the flash, or you got nothing but his head. You know how many people do that all the time.
Well, and I after the fireworks, we're starting to get tired, and my wife is starting to wind down. But I'm like, we walked back towards Adventureland, and I said, we need to go on Splash. It said 10 minutes. It wasn't warm,
Yeah,
but it wasn't cold. So I said we just need to do that. And
and you knew it wasn't going to be 10 minutes. It was going to be a walk on at that
oh
time.
yeah, it was 0 minutes. So
Yeah,
I literally, the line was empty, and I recorded some of it because the sound you hear in the line. I wish I would have stopped now and recorded the message about that you can turn back now and all this. But so, and then of course they just announced that Splash Mountain is officially closing next month. So I'm glad that I wrote it many times like this. There you can see there's
there's
waiting.
no one.
There's empty logs, going around. So yeah, I don't regret. I've been on Splash Mountain so many times since they announced that they're going to close it. I've ridden it so many times, but I still will definitely miss it very much. But I definitely got my rides on it. Yeah, I think this is the one. If look at that, it's all, you can barely see it, but you see his mouth flapping around. I feel like there was something wrong with that animatronic too. I wish I would have got it more. By the time I clicked on it, it was too late. His his whole snout was just flopping around like
I
this.
saw that. Yeah, that
So
is
yeah,
one thing I'll say about Splash Mountain. At this point, they've let the animatronics go so far, so bad over the years. The last couple of years, it's like as soon as they announced the retheme, they
but
just completely gave up on even
part of
maintaining.
part of the reason they do that is I hear a bunch of people online saying, uh, "Oh well, it's so worn out now. It's
Yeah, I
not working
know. I
right.
know
It
that.
needs to be replaced." It's like they purposefully aren't fixing it and letting it run down, so there'll be a certain amount of more people who agree and go, "Yeah, it's just too old. It needs to go." But I was gonna say too, just as a side note, I looked at my post. I commented on the Diz posted something, and by the way, they said who's excited for Tiana, and I said no because they're not going to spend the money and do it properly, and they liked my comment immediately. So whoever runs the Diz thing,
I'd say that would
definitely,
be probably Craig Williams.
they definitely agree that they're probably going to cheap out on it, but anyway, I wanted to say, Disney's so proud that they're doing this stuff. A little something to note, and again, I'm no Disney executive. I'm not. I don't know anything like Bob Iger would know. He's the smartest guy ever. But I do have a little bit of logic, and I look at things, and I looked at the comments on my Splash Mountain stuff. I look at the comments on the Diz and WDW, NT, all these different things, thousands and thousands of comments. And I'm looking and I'm like, almost everybody says this is a mistake. Like this is a really bad idea. Like this is not going to be an upgrade. It's not going to be like this is a classic attraction. This is really just a bad idea. Like everybody seems to agree. And for every, I'd say 200 people who think it's a bad idea, there's the one person who says the same thing. I can't wait for it to change. I love it. And it's like, and it always sounds so generic to me, but, and then I look, Disney's in trouble right now because they are losing a lot of money on movies and their streaming is not as popular as they wish it would be. And they're using the same logic there. There's a handful of people who want things who don't watch their movies. It's like, here's what we want in the movies, but we're not going to go watch it anyway. And I'm like, and now they're actually giving in to people who don't go to Disney parks. They just jump on the bandwagon. They go, oh, everybody else said this ride is bad, so I want it gone. Yay, yay, yay. You say, did you ever go there? No. You ever ride it? No. You know it? Well, no, I just know it's bad. Somebody told me it's bad. It's like, I just can't believe that Disney, I feel like it takes them years of doing dumb things to learn. And they're finally looking, going, wait a minute, what we're doing with the movies is really dumb. We're having problem after problem. And they're not done yet, obviously, but they're finally starting to say, wait a minute, we need to figure out a way to make money. And this ain't it. In the meantime, they're going to continue down this path for a while. But the problem is, a lot of people said, oh, yeah, well, the parks are all right. It just takes them years to ruin the parks in the same way they've been ruining their movie and TV stuff. You know, it's like they take Star Wars and twist it. And people who love Star Wars don't like it that much anymore. That's just not the same. The original fans of Marvel are not really liking all the weird new stuff they do with it. And it's just they're not doing well overall. And no matter what they say, they're just not. And that's where it started to materialize a little bit. And again, Iger's not going to fix it. He's the guy who came up with a lot of this stuff. He's the guy who put these people in the positions that they're in, that are making mistake after mistake, and they just continue. And I'm like, everyone seems to agree that this is one of the park ideas that they had that they think will just be a great thing, that is just a really dumb move. And again, it takes, park things are like years. And I have to say, if this is such a great idea, where are the people who really want it? It's like, I don't see them. There's, like I said, 1 out of 100 has a generic response about what a hero they are. And it's like, I don't necessarily believe that person. And when you click on their account, they always have like 2 posts and like no friends. I'm like, to me, that seems like made up accounts that are just out, spreading propaganda or something. So I just don't buy it. But anyway, Disney is making a mistake, and they're going to continue to make a mistake. And I can say, too, one of the reasons it's a mistake is my daughter is 21. And I told her about it, and she's like, at this point, Disney just they do so many dumb mistakes like this. She's like, I can't ride the Maelstrom or the Frozen without thinking Maelstrom used to be so good. I can't ride Mickey and Minnie's without kind of just feeling a hollow feeling of, man, the great movie ride was so cool. And now, what do you think people's feelings are going to be about riding, this screened out version of Princess and the Frog? I'm sure it'll be good to a point, but I have a feeling it may, I was looking at messages on my account, and I just don't think it's going to get the same thing. And even here's something from one of the Disney employees who drives the bus. He said they're going to regret it. Just wait and see. And then just like a tear. Somebody else posted something about whenever they'd get off the ride, they just have a warm feeling, like it's such a happy ride. It has such a cool vibe about it. And again, you're just not going to get that. They're basing the Princess and the Frog with no Dr. Facilier, no, it's not the movie. It's after the movie. It's just like a celebration after it's like the story doesn't even sound good. My favorite character's not even in it. And I hope that they at least use some of the popular songs, because I don't like the Princess and the Frog movie that much, but some of those songs are great. And Dr. Facilier was an awesome character. I can't deny those things, but I don't think any of that's going to be in there. So
You're talking about the company that redid Snow White's Scary Adventures out in California to make it less scary. So, yeah, you're not going to get Dr. Facilier because you have a lot of whiny parents complaining about scaring their kids. Well, I don't want to say a lot, John. You've just covered it. A few that are whining about things like that. I mean, that's just one thing when it comes to that. Dr. Facilier may be a little too scary for
Uh,
everyone.
and anybody who says, "Oh, nobody knows the movie. Kids today do not care about the movie. They don't know the movie." I don't really care who I offend. You are a all right. I'm not going to say anything offensive, but you could fill in the blank. There's something wrong with you and your kid if you think they can only see rides and things that they've already seen before. It's like when does that first happen? Splash Mountain was special because it's the only place I saw those characters. My daughter, when she was little, she loved the little bunnies and the story, and the ride was slightly scary but fun, but exciting, but cute, but it had catchy songs, it had a happy feel. She loved all that. She didn't say, "Oh, what movie is it?" Because if I didn't already see the movie, I don't want to. What kind of person thinks like that? I
Hmm.
only want to see stuff I've already seen in a movie. Like, what is wrong with you exactly? Like, why? And if your kid's like that, you're not doing a good job with your kid because my daughter's favorites were things that you only saw at Disney. That's what made them special. I didn't say let's go look at the same thing we watched on TV at Disney now. Why? I mean, that's all right to a point, but if that's something that's that important to you, then
You mean your daughter didn't say, I don't want to ride that ride because that's from that movie that had Uncle Remus in it?
she never saw the movie or knew there was a movie.
Neither
Again,
did my kids.
it's cute. I didn't either. I'm not a Disney aficionado. I didn't know there was a movie, but I sure did love those songs, and I loved the characters, the songs, the color, everything about it was just perfect. And I remember ever since I started going to Disney, which was, um, or I should say, ever since I went on Splash Mountain, I've said many times it's my favorite ride because it's the perfect Disney ride. It's a dark ride. It's got catchy songs. It's got great characters. It's scary a little bit. It's wet. It's like, it's got so many parts to it. It's like a roller coaster. It's like a log flume. It's like a dark ride. It's got everything all in one. And the fact that I can't ever experience it except when I go to Disney made it all the better. You
Well,
know,
you like the animatronics, right? So, boy,
I
do
may
we got some screens for you coming up.
I mainly like the ride system because I
The
have these
ride system,
these
yes.
people on Instagram keep saying dumb things like that. Like it's not going away. It's the same ride system. And I said, when's the last time you said, man, that's my favorite ride system? I love that ride system. It's like I don't care about a ride system. A ride system has no heart, no soul, no feel. I don't care about a ride system at all. So again, I can guarantee you no matter how good the ride is, and it probably won't be good because Disney's looking to save money everywhere and cut everything they can.
Yeah.
So just like they cut all the EPCOT projects down to just saying, well, we'll just put a garden up with a few lights. That's all that's left. It's like, what do you think's going to happen with this? It's going to be a crappy
Well,
screen and a crappy ride.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If they overlay that ride and it doesn't have animatronics and it doesn't have top flight animatronics with a lot of money poured in it, I'm going to call Disney racist
Oh,
up and
no.
down all over the place. I'm going to say they're the most racist company ever because they didn't want to pour any money into a ride using African American theming and characters and things like that. And I will say that if it's nothing but screens and cheap and all that stuff and just a
Uh,
cop out, that's exactly what I'll do. I will say
I don't
that
like I don't like to
constantly.
point fingers at people, but all I can say is Disney's celebrating their 100th year, and you're telling me they have one African American character so far. That's the only one they can use for anything. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I find that to be a problem. And even The Princess and the Frog, I think it was an all right movie. I liked it, but not enough to really watch it again. The songs I still enjoy. And again, you're not going to do any other ones. You never did any other ones. You don't
I,
plan on
I
doing other ones. You don't care. Did that meet a quota for you? You just said, "Well, we have one of those here. Look, we did it." It's like I don't like that at all. It should have been. Diversity is not something that's new. I've been taught it ever since I was in like elementary school, but apparently Disney hasn't been taught that because they don't seem to have done a good job of it. And now using the same character over and over again for everything, it's starting to feel kind of, I don't know.
contrived.
Yeah, like
Contrived,
it
cheap.
almost feels offensive, like they're not. It's not sincere, 100 years. Where's the other ones? Honestly, Uncle Remus was one that Walt himself. He was an actual African American actor that Walt did have to put in there at the time. Where racist Hollywood told him, "Don't work with black people. Don't do any of that." And again, but now Walt's being judged by today's standards, so he's out of luck. That's the new way to do it. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, now that we solved world problems, I don't want to stay on that too long. But it is a sore subject.
It's a sore side, and it's getting more sore and more sore as we get closer.
Yeah, I have very strong opinions on Splash Mountain.
I do too.
I just don't see the problems with it. But anyway, I'm glad I rode Splash Mountain again late at night. We walked past the Jungle Cruise again, and it was still a very long line. So we kept walking past that, and I told my wife I would rather do Space Mountain again because that was really awesome. And so we ended up doing that. But I did stop to look at this again. Pirates 5, Magic Carpets 5, Dumba. Big Thunder 10, Splash Mountain 10, Pirates 5. It's some good lines. Tomorrowland Transit 10. For that, it's actually low. Buzz Lightyear 5, Astro Orbiter 10. It's like, that is some low lines. And unlike the Halloween party, these lines weren't like that then. They just weren't. So luckily my wife is a good sport, and we did Space Mountain again. And you can see when I got there, empty queue.
Yeah, wow.
And I didn't have much time to record the queue because look, those people were already on by the time I walked over there, and there was literally no waiting at all. I just simply got in the car. And and the cool thing is too, the first time I was on the left track and the second time I was on the right. So I actually did ride two different tracks. And here we can see, this is a little bit wider of a screen. I was thinking about putting this on YouTube too. You can't see a lot, but
no, but you can see enough. I mean,
I don't think it'll copyright strike or anything, so just toss it up there. But yeah, it's this was for me. I know I already went over it, but this was the highlight of the party for me. I really, really liked being able to ride Space Mountain, and the music is cool. It's pretty good. But obviously the lighting effects is what made it special, and it made it so chaotic. Like it feels out of control, like you're on it and things are flashing. It just feels crazy and out of control. And just again,
did they play in the music? Did they play Run Run Rudolph with Groot?
No, but that is a good point. Between Space Mountain, yeah, there you can see a good one. Between Space Mountain holiday themed and Guardians holiday themed, for me, Space Mountain wins that one. Even though Guardians is great, but that was just so intense and cool like that. Yeah, look, you can just see the lights flash, and you can kind of see a lot there. Just man, it is just really, really cool. So as far as I'm concerned, during the holidays, Space Mountain wins, even though it's old. This really does it. And they play, I think it's Mannheim Steamroller.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think that's what it is. It's like the Christmas music from that, so it's like fast paced and like
Yeah.
it's different, but it's good. But yeah, so cool. See,
Yeah.
I end up stopping to talking and watching the video again because I'm just like, oh man, I want to ride that again. So again, Space Mountain made the whole thing worth it to me. Like that was really good. And I don't think we did much else. You know, looked at another uh, gift shop, looked at some overpriced sweaters. Only $90 for
Oh, that's it. For a sweater you can't wear in Florida anytime.
Yeah, I actually ducked into the ice cream shop, which I never actually go in there. The one in the ice cream place in
Sure.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
I never go in there because, we don't get a lot of ice cream. So anyway, I never even noticed these signs they have up. They have like cool Tomorrowland type signs. There's Starlight Cafe, Sunny Eclipse, um, a throwback to the
Yeah. Look at that.
timekeeper.
Hmm.
Yeah, meet the inventor of Tomorrowland's one and only time machine. So I thought that was cool. I never saw that show in real life,
Oh,
but
yeah. It was great.
in 2017, I think it's still, or no, it was before that. I was on vacation at a Christmas party and they handed out candy and the animatronic was still there. I remember taking pictures of it.
It's
But
Robin Williams
yeah,
was the voice. It was great.
yep, there's Tomorrowland Towers, Hover Hotel. I just thought those signs were really cool. There's an Astro Orbiter. Now, I know people sell a lot of remade signs. If I could get these, I would hang that up in my office. That would look good right here behind me. See,
Hmm.
back here, I need a nice Astro. I need a nice Tomorrowland sign back there. Yeah, look at
Very
that
cool.
antique rocket show. That is so cool. I really never saw any of these. Like, and it looks like they haven't changed them in a long time because they still reference the timekeeper. Now that we did this, the Disney executives will say, "We just thought of something that needs to be ripped out and replaced with blank wall. Let's take this out." Our new design. They wouldn't put this in a Marriott, so it shouldn't be at Disney World. Anyway, as we basically left after this, it was 11:24, and it doesn't officially close till midnight. But we had literally seen everything we wanted to see. We, except for the Jingle Cruise, but we've done so much. And I just, yeah. Sorry, I was reading the comments. What is the ride
Yeah.
animatronic guy? That was called Timekeeper. The animatronic guy, he was in Tomorrowland, and I think he had a robot called Nine Eyes, which would take you back in time. So they were transporting you back. So,
Mhm.
oh, I'm sorry.
CC
Hello.
animatronic guy had a his favorite ride was Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah, see, I didn't. They used to redo that for the holidays too, and they haven't.
They don't, but
Um,
I think they did in Disneyland for the longest
now it's
time, and
gone. I think in
yeah, it's
Disney.
gone in Disneyland, but
No, they did it at Walt Disney World
they did.
too.
Yes,
Then they
it's.
stopped. So that would be cool. They really need to bring back the Country Bear Jamboree.
I don't
Uh,
understand why they don't do the holiday overlay for that anymore. I
I
mean,
guess it's cheaper not to, but it really would bring new life to that because people don't go there a lot. So it
yeah,
would bring new life to it. It'd be a cool
I love the
thing.
Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah, I do too. I think next time I go there, I should go in there and go live. That'll be people get a kick out of that because they don't go in there enough on vacation. So
Yeah,
yeah, they do need to bring that back though. I've never gotten to see it. I just heard about it. By the time I moved to Florida in 2017, they didn't. They weren't doing it anymore.
yeah. The times that I went to the Christmas party, they weren't doing it at that time either.
Yeah, so it's by this time it's 11:30, and we actually took the monorail instead of walking. My wife had to work the next day; she had to be up by 6 o'clock the next day, and we live 40 minutes away, so that's why we kind of.
Yeah.
All
So,
right,
all
and I
right.
think that's about it for the Christmas party. And I just wanted to note that when I went to the Halloween party, I said I didn't think it was really worth it. The money, it was so crowded. I didn't get to do that much. I got to do so much at this one that I left 30 minutes early in order to, get up early in the morning. So I was quite happy with the whole thing. And the amount of rides I got on, I could have gone on even more rides too. Like I really could have. But again, I'm a it was just my wife and I, so we didn't do any of the dance parties. We didn't get any of the desserts. We didn't do character meet and greets. I'm not even sure what was there. So
Yeah. But as far as so, you would definitely say go to the Christmas party again.
yeah, I would recommend the Christmas party because there were low wait times and Space Mountain was just awesome. In comparison, at Halloween, it was terrible. It was just they literally just turned off all the lights and said, "Now it's Halloween." So, but Space Mountain was great, and again, it seemed. Sorry about the dogs. It seemed just happier there. Like the guests seemed happy, the cast members seemed happy, the crowd seemed lower.
Mhm.
Um, Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, and I noticed that too. By the way, the in your video, a lot of cast members with smiling faces and like cheery attitudes, as opposed to say, I don't know, maybe the Halloween party. I don't remember seeing that as much, you know. So Christmas party looked like it was a better time for sure.
Yeah, it definitely was, and yeah, and I definitely would recommend going for the Christmas party. It was expensive. Um, I was kind of on the edge of, I didn't even book it. My wife kind of booked it for me. She's like, "Well, don't you want to go?" And I was like, I guess, like I did. But after the Halloween party, I thought if they're going to oversell it that much, that it's just not that fun. So,
Yeah,
but again, this one was great. It did have the Christmas feel to it. I went to the one last year and it was kind of disappointing. It felt kind of sad. It was like kind of like,
yeah,
but yeah, I definitely would not. I didn't feel good about it going in, so that's even better. I kind of went in thinking it was going to be crappy, and I was surprised that I enjoyed it, and my wife felt the same way. We did not love the Christmas or the Halloween party, even though Halloween I like better as a holiday, but I just the party was just too much. So
yeah. I agree. I didn't feel like I didn't like the Halloween party that much this year. I felt it was felt a little shortchanged with it. But I mean, maybe that also had to do with my expectations from horror nights and things like that. As good as a job as Universal does, but to me, it looks like the Christmas party was a success, John. I like I
I
said,
did.
I know you thought that you were kind of wasting your money, and you were almost embarrassed to even say that you were going, and you went.
Oh,
And,
after what I said about the Halloween party, I was thinking, how dumb am I? Now I'm gonna give him another $300 and go to this one.
yeah, but man, it sounds great that you had a great time. So
Yeah, not that anybody's asking, but I definitely paid for it myself. So
yeah,
Disney, when the vloggers go, they get everything for free, and it always seems to be a perfect time. It's like
sure.
they didn't get me anything. If they do, I might say the same thing, but I'll say it just like that. I'll be like, everything was great.
Yeah.
Please give me free stuff. But anyway,
All
yeah,
right.
that's it for the Christmas
Yeah.
party.
All right. So how did your social media go, John?
Um, it was the end of a bonus period, so I kind of held back a bit. Um, I can tell you the biggest news for my social media is my Universal account has overtaken my Disney account. I
And we
think
knew it was coming.
it's by like a few hundred now. So I've got 108,000 on each, but if you look at the actual numbers, it's by a few hundred followers. My Universal has overtaken. So yeah, I was gonna say we could have looked at it like this too. Some of the
Yeah. Oh yeah, with
but
your comments and everything for the.
yeah, yeah, we did some of the comments and stuff. But anyway, and since it's a new bonus period, I think I'm a little over $100 on each one so far. So and there wasn't anything overly successful that stood out recently. Everything seems to be a little more controlled, but overall, the things are going up a little bit. It says I reached 3.9 million accounts for my Universal in the past 30 days and 1.5 million for my Disney account. So that one was going down and down until it hit like 1.2 and then it started
Mm,
going up again. So I can't complain. I'm definitely not going viral anywhere. I'm not having drastic big growth or anything, but I've noticed a lot of other people have slowed down too. So I'm counting myself lucky for now that I am maintaining a slow, steady growth. So I, I definitely am happy overall with that. And I wanted to say, I haven't been doing a lot with TikTok lately. Like I'm trying to, I don't think I posted in a couple days. I'm trying to keep posting, but I don't know. It's one of those things that at this point, Instagram is paying me not a lot, but I think I made about $1,000 last month on
mm,
Instagram between my two accounts. And that's not quit your job money, but that's real money, that's significant. And meanwhile, TikTok pays me a few cents, like 60 cents a day or something, which I'm good with and I'm going to keep contributing. But, you know, I'm up to 76,000 followers, 2.7 million likes. I'm happy with it, but it just isn't really a focus, it's just not going to be a focus. And, with YouTube, I keep putting up shorts and yeah, like I have not really had any traction with that. Once in a while, I do. It's still doing the thing where it's like 7 views, 100 views, 8 views, 8,000 views, and then it goes back to low again. And I'm like, I just don't get it. And as far as the other videos go, none of the other videos ever do very well. Pretty much none. So, and I don't know why exactly, but again, I have hopes that someday that'll be cool. Like someday YouTube will be successful in some way. But again, I'm going to keep trying. And I hear next year they're going to really start monetizing shorts and pushing them more. So I'll
yeah.
try to
Yeah.
be on that, ride that wave up a little, maybe.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, I think it's impressive that at least your Universal has overtaken. I mean, you knew that was coming. We could see it. I mean, all the numbers were creeping up, so it
Yeah, it
finally
kind of makes me
happened.
yeah. Plus, I'm a little salty with the whole Splash Mountain thing. So
Yeah,
it just back of my mind, I'm like, I can't wait for Epic Universe to come along, and we'll see who's lining up for your Princess and the Frog screen ride.
yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
just don't. You usually when everyone thinks it's a mistake, it's a mistake. So,
yeah, yeah.
but again, Epic Universe is coming.
It's on the way.
My I'm up to 108,000 followers. It's a much more unique uh, that like there's a lot less competition for Universal social media than there is Disney.
Mm.
And by the way, next week we're changing the podcast to See Universal.
That's right. That's,
See you change next week.
that's right.
Disney's the side.
Yeah.
I did tell my daughter I need to start doing more at Universal and less at Disney since it's my bigger account now, and it's technically closer to me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I need to make more of an effort because
Yeah.
since there's twice as many Disney parks, I just tend to go there more, and out of habit because there's so much stuff to go. Well, I got to see this and this and this for Christmas, and at
Yeah.
Universal, I only have to see two things. So.
Yeah.
But I am going to Universal more. I think next week, or no, coming up soon. I'm going to do a VIP tour, and I'm going to do a breakfast with the Grinch. So
That's
up
cool.
in early December, I think the 12th is VIP and the 15th is breakfast with the Grinch. And my daughter got that for me for my birthday. And I was like, I love theme park breakfast.
Yeah.
I almost never get it. And I've never gotten any real time with the Grinch to yell at you. So that'll be fun.
That'll be great. All right, John, where can they find you online?
You can find me at SeeWDW on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Is that right? Yeah. And C.UO on Instagram and Facebook and SeeWDW on YouTube.
And you can find me at The Giant Rat, THEE Giant Rat on Instagram and on TikTok. And that should do it for this one. Go
And
ahead,
I just
John.
wanted to say thank you, CEC animatronic guy. I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, and I loved the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics too.
And I used to take my kids there quite a bit when they were younger. Yeah.
Yep. I liked when my daughter was young enough that I had to go up in the tunnels with her because she's too little. It's like not really. I just wanted to go up myself. But I did love Chuck E. Cheese. I loved those tickets. I loved the shows. The pizza was so good, and I mean, it was definitely special. So,
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
all right. Well,
All right. That should do it for this week. We will see you on the next one.